And in working with Sonia, what have you found are the benefits of working with biofeedback?
Well, through this machine, I can see what stress actually does to my body. I see my temperature drop, I see my muscle tension, and through learning how to deal with this, anytime that I do feel stressed out, I can realize what it's doing to me and I can stop it, or I can help it.
I see.
It's helping me a lot. I don't get as many headaches as I used to. I don't stress out like I used to because I stop myself, and then I can think of biofeedback and remember how to raise my temperature back up.
Very good. And Tracy, in complementing allopathic medicine, how do you feel that biofeedback is assisting and participating in that process? We're seeing a lot of new changes out in the marketplace, and how can biofeedback be expressed in terms of its participation?
Well, I find, like with Sonia, with my headache patients, with smell recognition and aromas, when she does get a headache, our aromatherapist here at the counseling center has made her up aroma for headaches, and it completely takes her migraines away. I mean, she had gone to all kinds of people, you know, she wouldn't even be able to wake up, see or anything, and the aromas really releases her muscle tension and everything. And just with the office and everything, the aromas around here, I feel like it really complements the biofeedback, the smell recognition. We also have a subliminal chamber where we also put aromas in there, and that shows very good benefits.
So you're using the computer, you're the facilitator, and you have the senses, the aromas, the essences that also enhance the treatment.
Definitely.
What would you say in terms of working in this modality? What pleasures do you get or receive from working with clients such as Sonia and working with the biofeedback techniques and technologies?
I get the pleasure that there's no more headaches, the stress is gone, they're happier people, they can drive on the freeways without honking their horns, and they see life in a different perspective. They live life every day with just being more calmer. I teach them breathing exercises, which I think is very, very important to learn how to breathe, to reduce the stress. I know what stress can do to your body, and I think a lot of people that walk through the door don't realize the effect stress can have with migraines and headaches and cancer and anxiety and phobias. And once they're finished here, they can do the things that we teach them, and they can apply it to the outside world. And we're more like a coach, and we teach them how to regulate the physiological changes in their body so they can do it in the outside world.
They can do it in the outside world, and that's so important. So you would say that in our urban society, in terms of our lifestyle, our work, the pressures, the tension, not only are we looking at biofeedback being used to assist, but also in terminal illnesses such as cancer and other diseases.
Oh, definitely. Stress lowers your immune system, and everybody's under stress. With driving, work, with the family, everything. And when your immune system lowers, that's when the cancer takes over your body, or leukemia, multiple sclerosis. Everything is, we have to keep our immune system in tip-top shape so that we can fight off all these diseases, and stress is one thing that lowers it. And if I can do one thing by teaching them how to breathe and deal with their stress, that lowers their immune system. I mean, that hires their immune system, so that's one thing that we're really doing here. Especially with the Alpha Chamber, and we have lots of different programs to help patients have a more positive outlook when they do have cancer, because your mind is a very helpful thing, very, very positive.
Powerful, yes.
Very powerful.
Jody, will you go ahead and comment for us on that tape?
Yes, well, what I am finding is that modalities such as biofeedback certainly is a part of how we're looking at empowerment, empowering the client empowering themselves. And we even have neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, being used a lot by therapists, practitioners. And this really is about how we rescript our lives. How do we take the control to really redirect, and how do we anchor new thought patterns that can really generate us moving beyond a point of illness to wellness. So this is a very, very significant way that physicians are empowering their patients and their clients. And perhaps Diane might have some more to say
Well,
on
it's
that.
my pleasure to be able to talk about this because I started doing this, and I think the biofeedback and the chamber gives me other modalities to be able to reduce the anxiety and create the client's awareness, okay? But if you don't calm down the anxiety, you don't have other tools to be able to do that. The client comes in, and they're already apprehensive because they're coming in to see a therapist, so their anxiety level elevates again. And as a therapist, you have to be able to calm that down. So I like being able to have the tools to educate the client. And I think it's important because our clients are more sophisticated. They're challenging us more, okay? I like that as a clinician because it keeps us on our toes. It makes us look at all different aspects. So I think that we're able to bring a lot more into our practice if we look at these other alternatives.
I know that with my own practice, I don't profess to try to remember or know everything, and certainly from the days when President Reagan's colon was on 1A of the Herald, you know, people started to get more involved with their health care, and it's great. Certainly, as we were mentioning with the tape, et cetera, there's a tremendous integration of the body's functions that contribute to stress. Those include the endocrine system, and the hormones. There's neurotransmitters, that's the brain hormones. There are hormones that also come from the brain and go out to the body. Nerve conduction, the nerves to and from the brain, which influence not only our motor function, how moving arms and legs, for example, as well as sensory, when we feel touch, etc. So there's a tremendous integration there, and anyone who's experienced stress and knows that raises your heart rate, and then adrenaline pours out, and it gives us what we call the old primitive fight or flight response, can see that everything is interrelated. Similarly, when we deal with other modalities as a complement to allopathic medicine, for example, aromatherapy, the limbic system, which is part of the brain, has a direct connection to the nose and nasal passages where aromas can be diffused. These aromas have immediate effects on the brain. And as Jody mentioned, as Diane has worked with these modalities, they're all part and parcel of contributing to stress reduction. Miguel, you want to comment on that with some examples?
A few years ago, neuroscientists were able to determine that for the olfactory system, we have the switching stations for the body for emotions, appetite, survival behavior, sex, and memory. So that's the switching station for the body. So through the olfactory system and with the right extract of essential oils and the right aroma, we have control, and we have an influence, actually, not control, but an influence in those systems, which means also environmental toxins and different aromas will have could have a negative effect on those areas. So my work pretty much gets involved in going into those areas, and emotions now is attached to the immune system, so we're able to relax someone very nicely and very easy. At the same time, we look at the environment, because it does have an effect on behavior. Psychosomatic definitely is a self-destructive behavior. If we want to see the ability of the brain to heal, we pretty much check it out the way self-destruct. You know, it seems like we rather, when we're angry with someone, we say, I'm so angry with you, so therefore my blood pressure is going to go up, my heartbeat is going to go up, so we begin to self-destruct, which we have to, like you mentioned, we need to rescript. Yes, aroma definitely has an effect on behavior.